So this is the adapter to use the ODI Ruffian Mini lock-on grips. These grips are smaller diameter, smaller length, work much better for kids than the grips that come on the Stacyc. What you want to do to install this, first thing you want to do after you take apart your throttle assembly is take your throttle tube and you want to cut it down to 1/4 inch from this surface right here. And then once you've done that, you want to go back and kind of deburr the edges and make sure this inside is nice and smooth. The next step, take your throttle assembly and you have to cut off this locking tab. You want to cut it from this edge about 1/2 inch to 600 thousandths. Cut that off, and the main thing you want to make sure is when this is assembled, you want to make sure that that lip is below where you cut the throttle tube. The next thing you want to do is on one of the grips on the ends, you want to cut off the little tabs and kind of sand them or file them down and get them nice and smooth so they don't stick up right there. Once you have all that done, you take the adapter that you get and you simply just snap it right on, and then go over to your handlebars and make sure when you slide it on it spins nice and smooth. When you snap those little tabs in, they do compress a little bit and it can cause it to pinch up and kind of bind a little bit on the handlebar. I've made these recesses big enough so that it should work just fine. But if you do get any binding at all or just want to be extra safe, you can go in with a little sandpaper, little Dremel tool or something, and just remove just a tiny little bit of that material, and then when you snap this on, it should spin nice and freely. After you get done with that, you're going to take the throttle tube that you cut down and just line up the little notches with the notches on the adapter. And it just goes right in like that. And then you're going to assemble your throttle assembly the same way you took it apart. And make sure it works smoothly. Slide that back on the handlebar. Take the little supplied washer and your grip lock-on end cap. Put the washer on and then the end cap, and tighten down the end cap. Do this first. And take the whole throttle assembly and slide it up tight enough to close this gap right here, but you don't need it super tight. And then go ahead and tighten that down. Once you have it all assembled, just make sure that this twists and it snaps back and there's no friction or there's no play in it, and you should be good to go.